What's up, guys? I just putting the finishing touches on this negative G build, and I thought I'd make a benchtop video like most of my videos, pretty raw, you know. So you just have to either bear with me or watch somebody else's video, I guess. But anyways, just kidding about that. I hope you watch, you know. You may find something that's useful here. I don't know. But anyways, this is a negative G tc-v1. This kit, it comes in a kit, right? You get the rails. You get a really cool servo mount / body mount support. You get a really cool looking bumper, right? Has like a 3D printed frame and then aluminum knurled cross piece. You get these posts here that go across. You get 2 of them for your shocks support. You also get your motor mount, and you get a spur. You're going to need to supply your own pinion, and that's your motor mount there with you know, you got a couple of bearings in there. Really nice little gearbox there. I don't know what you would call that. Goes down to your transfer case here, which is a little 3D printed gearbox with some ball bearings in there. Really nice common size ball bearings that he supplies, and if you ever need new ones, you know, you can get them. But so he supplies that. Supplies some really nice 3D printed skids, and you get your they're sliders rather, and then your skid / battery mount is that guy there. Your battery goes there. Of course, there's your transfer case mounts there, and then your links, you supply those. They're the stock links. You see where they're attached there, kind of towards the outside, and use your stock TRX4 drive shafts. This would be like the sport sized drive shafts, whatever wheelbase that is. I can't remember off the top of my head, but that's what you get, right? So you get your skid, you get your sliders, you get 2 motor body mount supports. There's your rear one there. You get 2 bumpers. You get a rear bumper that's 3D printed. It says negative G. You probably can't see that. Negative G on the back of it. And then you get your spacers there, one there for your shocks, your motor mount, and your gearbox there. And then there's your bumper, and of course your rails. Really clean. Look how low everything is. I mean, it's like paper thin, right? That's really nice. I'm really liking this setup. Stands up on its wheels with the battery in. I mean, it's like, you know, it's kind of wants to flip over if I compress like it's going to be running with the full droop. I mean, it'll stand there. It'll stand there pretty good, right? So I think we're going to have pretty good side hilling with this guy. Stands on both sides, right? Very equaled out. If you put this is what I do to check for my center, is see what I'm doing there? Lift up right on the center. I can't do it because I'm holding my phone, right? But you lift up this side and lift up your rear end at the same time, and those 2 points of contact would be your pivot. So if it favors the one side, you know, that's the heavy side, right? So that's why I put my ESC on that side. I thought right away, I said, because this is here, right? And I thought, well, that's probably not as heavy as my motor, right? So I put it on this side, but man, it really favored this side. So I put my ESC over on that skid, and you know, it equaled out, even though the motor's on this side. You know, usually I want my battery opposite side of the motor, but this little guy's got a couple of bearings in it, got metal gears in it, plus you got this drive shaft here. So I think that's what's weighting down this side a little bit. So with the ESC on that side, it's just about perfect so far as my balance from left to right. So it's like almost dead on equal. I'm using hobby Holmes Hobby. What is that called? The Kroll Master Mini. That thing is like a wafer on there. It's like a. It reminds me of like a little tiny. I guess it's just a little circuit board. I have no idea. Well, you got to put it together, right? You got to solder your wires on there, and you got to solder your signal wire. And I've seen other guys use this, and it's like kind of just hanging in the inside the body, flopping around. No good, right? You got you got this is like really light soldering underneath. So what I did is I made a little board, right? I don't know if you can see that, out of Kydex, and put some holes in it and strapped it down. I didn't want to use any kind of adhesive or tape right on the ESC, because you know, trying to pull that off of there, it might damage that board or pull my wires out, or these little MOSFETs here, something bad would happen. So I just got her strapped down with some wire ties. It's not going anywhere. I just had to carefully unhook your battery so you don't pull the whole thing off, right? But that's not going anywhere. It's all in there. What's nice about this is you can customize your wires, you know, a little bit, get them the right length, so they're not, everything's all flopping around. So everything's nice and low, you know, and even with the wires, the motor wires ain't hanging way up there. So they're a little bit, my motor wires are probably a little bit long, but you know, it was like kind of a compromise, you know. I put a little S-bend in the wires there, and had to keep them away from the out drive motor, you know, so they're not wearing through and making a mess of things. And then I had to, you know, had my servo wires coming out this side, so I had to fish that around and get that away from the gearing and get that away from the motor. So that kind of shows a little bit, but it's not gonna you know, kill the look too bad. So anyways, that's what I got, right? I got J Concepts rupture tires. I got my wheels weighted on the front. This thing should be pretty solid build. I can't wait to get it out. Got a lot of things going on though right now. I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to get my body painted and get this thing on the rocks. Now, here's my body, by the way. It's a Proline Chevy C10. And like Edward Scissorhands, right? Chopped the thing up pretty good there. Still got my bed though, you know. That's kind of cool. So I think I'm going to have to do a little more trimming there, and then the front as well. I think I may have to. Maybe it might do good. I put these tires on there. They're probably the biggest tires I'm going to run. So I figure if I can get them cleared, I'm good to go with any other tire I might mount on there. So to get my color scheme together and all that. But just thought I'd show you guys this thing, how low everything is. There's not many benchtop videos for this guy. I mean, there is, but you're kind of like looking at the guy the whole time, and he takes up the whole frame, and the car looks like, you know, a matchbox in the video. So here I wanted to show you guys so you can see it, right? You can see it on the bench here. See if it's worth your capital, right? When you put one of these things together. Here's the bottom. I wanted to show you this. Look how low that motor sits, right? In between, you know, your offset axle. You know, one thing about these tracks is these chubby, you got kind of chubby axles, chubby portals, right? They kind of get in the way. But he took advantage of that. He sunk the motor way down in there, and it is like right in line. It's almost right in line with the axle. I would say you maybe, you know, the bottom of the motor and the axle, there's just a little bit, maybe a 1/4 inch, not even, maybe an 1/8 inch lower there than this part of the axle. So you may watch, I'll probably get some scratches on that motor, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. So there's your skid, right? And then you have this nice skid here. And then your sliders match the rails really nice, and you're using pretty much your stock links. I may go with a high clearance link on this guy, on these, at least on the rear. Maybe get some lighter links. The only thing I need to mod here for my steering, don't know if you can see that, but when I steer, right, that's going to hit the rail at full droop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Dremel and I'm going to angle a ramp on this link end, and hopefully that'll be enough to get me some clearance there. I can't really see any way around that. I think I got plenty of meat on that link and to shave that away and make that nice and nicey, right? So anyways, yeah, shocks I'm running there are just the TRX4 stock bodies with low C. I guess they're the mini T springs. They're the softest ones. If you don't like pink, I think there's some, you could paint them, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to leave them pink, I guess, for, I don't know, breast cancer awareness, right? There you go. I got my mom had breast cancer back in the 80s, right? And she's still walking around. So that's pretty amazing. You know, at 87 years old, still walking around, having had breast cancer 40 years ago. So I'm pretty proud of her for that. But anyways, enough of that. This is the build. That's what you get in the box. It's a really nice kit. It's expensive, I know. These things, it's best just not to add it up, right? What you got in it. They're expensive, but if you add up, another build, say, you go with one of your other options, a Brazen or a G-Speed, and you start adding up, you got the rail kit, maybe it's $100, and then you got a servo mount, that's another $35, and then you got to get the spacers, they're $20, then you got to get some bumpers from somebody, and how much are they, $30-$40, and then you got to figure out a way you get your transmission. Holy cow, what do those things cost, right? They're like anywhere from $150 to $200, right? So you got to get that, and then you got to figure out your links, and you buy about 4 sets of links, and hopefully one of those sets is going to work, and then you're watching build videos over and over again to see what worked for somebody else. Well, this guy, he builds these kits, they go together perfect, right? There's like no other than if you're running full droop, you're going to have to do something with that link there. Other than that, this thing is like, a piece of cake to put together. Your body mounts, you just get the Traxxas TRX4 Sport body mounts. I think they're either 2 rears or 2 fronts you got to use. I cut the center out of this one. So, or you just figure something else out, right? But that's what he uses, the square mount. And that's pretty much it, I guess. I got the 9i mod servo there. It's really nice. Maybe I'll plug this thing in real quick and show you how smooth everything is. So I'm going to set my camera down for a second. So just hold on. So I got the ESC plugged in. You just see how quiet this thing is. Now, if you heard my other videos of my other cars with the Castle ESC in it, it just makes all kinds of noise, right? Look how nice and quiet that is. Little bit of cogging, but I mean, I don't think you're going to need to go much slower than that. So this is an uncensored motor, brushless motor, with that little wafer-sized ESC in there by Holmes Hobby. You hear that? It's a little bit of cog in there going real slow, but I can't see me ever going that slow. And if you need to program this thing, you got to build a programmer too. So you use a Healy, I can't remember the software, but you got to put a little programmer together. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think this thing's going to be just fine the way it is. So anyways, and I got servos really fast for what it is. I think they're 45-hour servo, and it's directly wired to my 3S battery there. Oh, by the way, about that 3S battery, he gives you a mount option there. You see that there? He has a slot in there. You can run a strap. I don't like to run straps because I can't get my fingers in there. So I just use this door lock or grip lock. It's a 3M product, and put it on all my batteries and just snap it in there. You know, if you fall down a cliff or something, you know, you're going to have to check your battery, see if it pops out of there. But I mount all kinds of stuff with that stuff, and rarely do I have an issue. So I don't need to fool around with the strap and try to get my fingers in there to strap that battery down. I mean, it's just not going to go anywhere. So anyway, that's it, man. Next time you see this thing, I'll be out on the rocks, and I'll try to get some of my half-baked footage up there for you guys to take a look at. Anyways, hope this was helpful. Like I said, I haven't seen too many benchtop videos of this rig, other than the one with a guy standing next to his bench. So this gives you a close-up of what you get from Negative G. Really nice kit. I had to pay for this thing with my own money, so if I didn't think it was any good, I probably just wouldn't make a video. But I think it's going to work out really well. I like the way it went together. He has, I didn't even use any of his build videos, but he's got videos to show you how to, you know, if it's like your first crawler, you never put one of these things together. He's got videos showing you how to do it, and all that. So anyways, it does give you some instructions you can print out if you want. That's what I did. I just printed out the instructions, kind of leafed through it, and put the thing together. It took a couple hours, and greased up the screws a little bit that went into the 3D printed parts, and that was really it. And put a little Loctite on some stuff that went into, you know, metal on metal. So other than that, you know, it was a piece of cake. The only sad thing is my TRX4 Sport has no axles, so eventually I got to get some axles for that, because I'm kind of sad about that, you know. And that's kind of that model's a real gem. That's my mud and snow rig there, because this obviously is going to be a fair weather crawler. So anyways, hope you guys are having a good week, and sorry this rambled on so long. I'll catch you later. God bless.